You know, Pastor Angie, it's true, it's not something that has been given much celebration. And I do understand it's because where we are, we don't even understand what it is. So maybe I kind of feel like I'll be celebrated many years to come. Okay. You know, when you finally say, I've been a master certified coach since 2018, people will understand what that meant means. Maybe in 2028. I don't know.
Hey everybody, my name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie. It's Mwangi Monday, where we discuss all things to do with governance, and I'm having an amazing conversation with Eileen Laskar of CDI-Africa Coaching Center Limited. And what we're going to do is we're demystifying coaching, because their vision is to weave coaching into the tapestry of our world. Whatever your world is, coaching should be in that world, and it will help us to move forward and engage and make impact and influence. So Eileen, we demystified, we talked about the difference between coaching and mentoring. How do you start this journey, so that we bring some personal stuff into it, as much as you want? Whatever you don't want to say, don't say. But how did this journey start for you? How did you come into coaching?
Thank you, Pastor Angie. You know, how I got into coaching, I'd say it was just divine. Nobody had mentioned or introduced me to coaching before and told me this is what coaching is all about. But I was trying to find my purpose. I was trying to figure out what am I here for. And the word that I kept on hearing is that, about people, about empowering people, but I just didn't know what that would look like.
Or even how.
Yeah, and actually I tried looking for it, even going to the NGO world and serving people, just feeling like I'm called to serve in a way that's not the usual, not the thing that I was doing. So I got to the NGO, but I was still not happy with that space. I just felt like there was more that I needed to do. And I bumped onto coaching in a book. And I said, look, that's interesting. So there are people who actually work with people like me who are trying to define themselves, and they help them figure out who they are and what they want to do. And I tried looking for a coach, and I couldn't get.
Really?
So when I couldn't get, when I said locally, of course I couldn't get. So I tried looking abroad, but it was very expensive. And even the calling rates those days were about 65 shillings per minute, and the coaching itself was expensive. So I was left thinking, so there is a profession called coaching that's offered to people, and we don't have it here. And I asked myself, what if I became? What if I became? And right there, the birth of coaching in me happened. And I just didn't know how far I would go on this journey, but the Lord has been amazing, just showing me enough light for the step that I'm on.
My story. Well, first of all, I'm so excited. We must celebrate. I'm the one. You need that friend who always celebrates you, embarrasses you.
Yeah.
Eileen, and I'm that person, challenges you. That's me. I love that. I'm always taking you out of your comfort zone, asking you things that you don't want to be asked, trying to hide. But you're a master coach, Eileen, and I feel that has not been celebrated. So first, let me celebrate you.
Thank you.
Let me celebrate you. Let me not take it further than that, but let me celebrate you. I celebrate you.
I know you do.
You are a master coach, and I'd like to understand, what is a master coach? How many are there? And even when you became one, I don't think there were few and far between. You're an MCC, so I want to know, what is that, Eileen? Because we don't celebrate ourselves and what we have achieved. And when you brought yourself, you said how far God has brought you. He's brought you to the highest level. I think there's one more. Is there one more level?
No, that's it.
That's it. The master coach is the highest level of coaching certification that you can get to. Please expound.
Pastor Angie, it's true, it's not something that has been given much celebration. And I do understand it's because where we are, we don't even understand what it is. So maybe I kind of feel like I'll be celebrated many years to come. Okay. When you finally say, I've been a master certified coach since 2018, people will understand what that meant maybe in 2028. I don't know. But just to sum it up for our viewers, it's a master certified coach is a credential that's given to coaches only by the International Coaching Federation, and it's the highest level, and you've got to go through some particular rigors for you to get there. Some of them being your training. You must have been trained, sat in as a student and trained for at least 200 hours. You must have done coaching practice and logged in at least 2,500 hours. And you must also have gone through something you call mentor coaching, which is really having a senior coach working with you and helping you perfect your coaching proficiency with for another 10 hours. But before that, there are other levels. So maybe stepping back, a lot of people stop at a point of just, I'm a certified coach, I've been trained. No, I know where we are going with that.
You've been pulling me out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm okay, let me sit here. So that's where you come in to tell me, no, you've got to take it to the next level.
Exactly. So there is a whole professional development path of coaches. So certification is the first one, but then credentialing, which is only done by ICF, are the next steps. You start with the associate certified coach, which just requires you to do 100 hours of practice and 60 hours and mentor coaching, and you are there, and then you take an exam, and then ICF says good, you are good at associate level. Then you proceed to the professional certified coach, which then requires you to build on those hours to 125 in terms of training, 500 in terms of coaching practice, and then get mentor coached more. So the whole idea is to keep the coach growing with the ultimate of getting them to the master certified coach. But actually, when you get there, every 3 years, you've got to renew a credential by meeting some particular requirements in terms of continuous development training for you as a coach. So it's a very structured profession. That's why the professional coaches, people who've been trained and certified, you almost feel instead of get somebody saying just I'm a coach.
I'm a coach.
You know,
they
because
haven't been trained or certified.
And then of course my feeling side is even to do with how much disservice they're doing to their clients, and you know it's just not right. I wish people can just get it right and just go all the way with integrity.
And that's all under the ICF, the International Coaching Federation, which I think is amazing because it's a body, and I like that. I like that they keep you accountable, so that every 3 years we've got to go back, revisit. Are you still coaching? Are you learning? What have you learned? Are you still keeping the competencies and everything going, which is important. And I don't want to go into the competencies now because I think we'll overshoot on time, but we must discuss those competencies, or maybe we should. Do you remember some of them offhand? You know, like the exam is the one that's like I just stops me. I'm like, I have too many things to do. I don't have time to do exams, so I keep moving. But I know that I needed to do some mentor coaching hours with you, and then I need to do the exam. But the in terms of core competencies, like even maybe some that come to mind, but you don't have to remember all of them. Just some that come to mind.
You've put me on the spot. So we're in a transition stage. As the International Coaching Federation has actually revised the competency framework. We've come from 11, we are now at 8. So it should be easier for us to be remembering. We are now at 8. And the new competency framework that has been that was released in 2020 and that we are now transitioning into. It's very interesting. One, it's phrased in a present continuous, which I love. That is coaching is not something that I do and stop doing when I leave the coaching session. It's a way of life. So we have like 2 major clusters. One is the being of a coach, which is about, you must then live up to the coaching ethics that are prescribed by ICF, and the second one is that you embody a coaching mindset. And that for me is the most wonderful thing that has happened, because then it's how you feel, it's how you think, it's a whole change of being.
I think it's the way that you are, the way that you be. So you're always in that coaching mindset.
Absolutely.
I think it's very powerful.
Including, things like, and know that as a coach you are human, that you can also seek help when you need to. Question your belief system, what do you believe in, and how does that, show up in your coaching conversations. Then the other broader cluster is then about the doing, which has, the co-creating the relationship. You have the whole thing around contracting, having proper agreements on coaching, and having proper contracts for the sessions that you have with your clients with very specific outcomes and measurable things that you can measure. So that it's not just a useless flow. It's not maybe it's not useless. It's not just a free flowing without any agenda in mind.
There's some sort of containment, and then we're going somewhere
with a very clear outcome. Because you see, coaching is a conversation. So without agreeing on what the outcome is, we can spend 2 hours here and come back like, so what was that all about? So that is very clear. And then being able to build a trusting environment around the people you work with, and just, that trust and safety, so the clients can be able to bring down that, that depth of wisdom, that depth of issues can then freely flow from them. And then being just maintaining coaching presence, that you're constantly there. You're not there and being somewhere else. Body, mind, soul, you are there.
You are there fully.
It's almost as though nothing else exists. It's like I'm talking to you, there are people recording. It's like they don't exist. I'm just present in your world, almost feeling your heartbeat, you know. So then we go to the class, to the third class, which is talk about communicating effectively. And that's where we have the active listening that you mentioned about earlier. Listening with your, what you're hearing, what people are saying and not saying. Listening with your head, your heart, and your gut. Just a very deep level of listening and being in the space of the client and being able to evoke awareness, which previously called powerful questioning. So it's been a bit more broadened now. A coach evokes awareness, and questioning is one of them, but things to do with, and how use of analogies, the use of metaphors. If you have clients who speak analogically, how do you make best use of that? Being able to to sense things that they're saying and being able to soundboard back. So I'm not going to get into the depth of the competencies. And finally, we say we do all this for purposes of ensure that the client is learning and growing, which is the last competency. So in a nutshell, those are the eight competencies that we have in the new ICF competency model. Seems like you put me to a test, right?
I love it. And you really passed the test with flying colors. And if they can also sufficiently whet the appetite, I think they can find them. If you go to the ICF website, you can find all the competencies there, and it will help you. But I think what we're saying is also you need to get some qualifications, some certification, somebody to hold you accountable as well as a coach, and keep reminding you that we need to keep it moving. I almost feel like keep it moving, keep the mindset, keep it in front of us, and then become better as we go. We can never get to a place where we say we have arrived. And I hope you've enjoyed that, and we'll see you next Monday. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.